Hey there, Alex Kinnan here with a slightly different unboxing. Not because of the product that I've got in front of me. This is the DJI Mic 3, as you can see, but because, well, I'm not going to talk that much about the product that I'm unboxing while I'm unboxing it, which is unusual for me. If you've seen any of my unboxings, you know what I usually do is I just do these in one take, and that is my intent here. So if things go wrong, you're going to see it in real time. But actually, I kind of feel like circumstances mean that I need to kind of address the elephant in the room around DJI products at the moment. So DJI have sent me this Mic 3 and they said they don't want it back, but there's a bigger cloud over them here in Australia at the moment. So there's an issue with a lot of online reviews where a certain quantity of them are done by what I'll call influencers, because it's mostly influencers, but there are people out there who call themselves product reviewers who do the influencer thing or have the influencer business model where basically they are paid for reviews. So they're paid money to review a product. It goes past the marketing department of the company that supplies the product. Money changes hands, but you're never really told about this or it's not properly disclosed. Cut to Australia, which is where I live, where I'm based, and there was a recent episode of the ABC TV program Media Watch. I will leave a link in the description to that particular episode. It's still up on YouTube, and I believe it can be watched globally. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It can certainly be watched here in Australia because that was how I watched it, where they actually went into the details of one of these for DJI. Not this particular product, by the way, for one of their external traveling camping power bank kind of deals. I have reviewed non-DJI equivalents of those in the past, but that's not one that I've particularly reviewed. But they contacted a four-wheel drive enthusiast, again, I'll say more of an influencer than a full-on product reviewer, and said, hey, would you like to review this? We'll give you the product, we'll give you some money, but you also have to sign this NDA, and we have to have absolute sign-off on what gets published. That's not a review, of course. That's really bodgy. And I saw the episode and I wrote a response piece to it. I will leave a link in that in the description below as well, because I think that's just terrible. I think it's really bad business. It's not news. It's not a new thing for sure. I am still unpacking this thing, by the way, but I really wanted to get my thoughts out about this because I kind of have to explain why I'm reviewing it. And anyway, so I thought it was a bad thing because it is a bad thing. I think it's a bad deal for consumers. You don't get good, honest review, but it's also a bad deal for people like myself who do proper, honest reviews. Because the issue there, of course, is that as you know, as in fact the four-wheel drive enthusiast, who I do not know for the record, but as he stated, how can you know if a review that you're reading is honest and legit? And I've made my living, I've made my career on doing honest, legit reviews in proper journalistic style. This stuff really bugs me, so that's why I wrote my piece. And I thought, well, one of the consequences of writing this, one of the consequences of saying, hey, DJI, you did a really bad, stupid thing. And let's be clear, they did a really bad, stupid thing, was that I'd probably get blacklisted by them. Look, I've been blacklisted by companies before because I haven't fit their marketing profiles or for reasons they just simply never explained. And, I'm sure it'll happen again. But I figured, writing this up, I'm probably just going to get no contact from DJI whatsoever. So why am I holding the DJI Mic 3 right now? Well, here's the thing. I actually got contacted, and this is somewhat to their credit. I got contacted by DJI's local representatives who I actually do know. I do know the company that handles their local PR. And they actually said, look, we've got a Mic 3. Would you be interested in reviewing it? And the practical reality is, in terms of interested in reviewing it, yes, I was keen to see what it could do. I'm actually recording this on the Mic 2, which if you watched any of my videos from PAX, you saw me using. I mean, it's a very standard thing that a lot of vloggers use. So I was keen to see what the Mic 3 was like. But of course, it's difficult. It's really hard because it's got this kind of air hanging over it of, well, how can you trust a DJI review? So I will state this now. I'll probably state it again before I finish talking. DJI have not paid me any money for this review. I can say whatever I like about it. I could say it was a steaming load of elephant dung and they would have to live with that. I don't know, because as you can see, I'm literally just taking it out of the bag now. There's no scent of elephant dung around it, but I'm pretty sure a marketing plan would not include the words elephant dung quite as many times as I've just said them. In fact, I'm very sure that's the case. Oh, look, dead cat. Anyway, dead cat probably doesn't figure in too many marketing plans either. This is, of course, as a wind baffle, possibly, it's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. It's a little bunch of the wind baffles. So I'm just going to put those to the side. They've also sent me, actually, a whole bunch of different coloured windscreens as well. May well get into those because I feel like I'm going to be talking here for a while. Anyway, funny thing was, so they contacted me with that, and I sent them a lengthy email in which I basically said, look, there's a big issue here. Here's the big issue. I've written this piece. I really feel what DJI is doing is not good for consumers, not good for reviewers, just poor form. I still do. So this puts me in a very difficult position. And they wrote back really quickly and basically said, look, we get that. We're still happy to send you the product for a full-on honest review, an upfront review. You can say what you like. There's no obligations. There's no NDA. I have signed none of these things, to be totally clear. And so I took that on board. And then, weirdly, and this one I will throw into the video just as a still shot, I also got an approach by someone, not local to Australia, but someone claiming to represent DJI's influencer marketing, wanting to do the exact same kind of really bodgy deal as that four-wheel drive one. We'll pay you some money and we will get a review, but then they get the marketing rights to it and they get a right of approval over it and so on. Terrible business. No, I'm not even responding to those. But they are out there. Clearly, DJI is still doing this kind of stuff. Stop it, DJI. It is just bad business. Unfortunately, influencers have influenced it. And if you follow these people, perhaps consider, well, if they're for sale, well, there's several quite derogatory terms for people for sale that I can think of, but I'll keep this polite and not use them. But if they're for sale, then they're just selling you out. They're not really to be trusted. I should continue unpacking this thing as I go. And so, anyway, where was I? That's right. DJI had contacted me directly through a channel I trusted, through a PR firm that I knew, say, yep, we will send you this device. And equally, they were also sending me for a different DJI device, one of the Osmo Pockets, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm recording this on the fly. Like I said, I will drop the visual in over it so you'll be able to see what it was for. But for a different product. And I ignored that, but I said, look, okay, yep, on the basis of completely impartial review, yes, that's fine. Okay, so, yeah, these are smaller, by the way. I did say I wasn't going to say that much about them. Well, there we go. I've said something. But these are distinctly smaller than the Mic 2s that I've got. Hopefully this won't mess up my microphones and send things crazy. I guess if my audio cuts out, you'll know all about it. And, of course, there's no lightning adapter, which is an interesting omission. But there we go. That's the actual Mic 3 there. So this showed up and I thought, right, well, yeah, I'm going to do a review of it. Of course, that will come in due course. I've literally only just unpacked this thing. I'll also show you, just so that the visuals continue to flow, the camera adapter they've sent me, and I think I already showed you the windscreen. So I'm going to review this, but I did feel like I wanted to really state clearly and for the record, I'm doing this review because, yeah, look, the products are still out there. People are still interested in them and still reviewing them. I think what DJI is doing, and they're not alone. There are many other companies, but I can say that they've done this because it's in the public record. But what that kind of deal, the pay someone for a review, yeah, I get it's a business model, but it's a business model that's really awful for end consumers because you can't trust people who sign those deals. And of course, they're never going to tell you. In fact, there's some, to my understanding, laws in Australia around misrepresentation that would probably cause you to come a cropper if it got spotted. I have not signed those kinds of deals for this or anything else, and I never, ever will. But I will put this through its paces. There will be a review of this in due course. So, yeah, that was long-winded, but please stay tuned for that review. Hopefully, if you've watched all the way through, that's cleared that up at least a little bit. It certainly has in my head.